Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh yeah, there it is, Phil. Welcome, AfterBuzzers! Shark Tank After Show here on AfterBuzz TV Season 6, Episode 25. Already, Phil?
Already, baby.
Phil Svitek joining me over there in
That's
the booth
right,
tonight.
ladies and gentlemen. Right from the booth, here we are. Me and Cameron Lewis, the only camshaft.
That's me, man. You subscribe to us here at AfterBuzz TV, either on the YouTube channel, AfterBuzzTV.com, SoundCloud, iTunes, rate us, star us, all of that stuff. Tell a friend. Use the hashtag ABTV Shark Tank to talk about this show. Passionate about this one tonight, Phil. Passionate about this episode tonight.
Indeed.
Let's start it off talking about Neat Cheeks. Now, if you guys have never watched this after show before, we're just going to go step by step through the pitches, give our opinions, say who got a deal, that kind of thing. So you're welcome to join in the conversation there. Neat Cheeks, the flavorful solution to dirty cheeks on babies. Phil.
Is this a product that I need right now? No.
Right.
Do I give it props and things like that? Absolutely. They need that patent, though. They need that patent. Without
Absolutely.
that patent, they should have gone with Lori first and foremost, and they needed that patent. And I don't understand why they were scared to offer that, saying that they... Yeah, well, meaning... I feel like they don't think they're going to get the patent, and that's an issue.
Yeah, no, the thing that made me nervous about this deal, first of all, they were looking for $150,000 for 20%. And they didn't seem to have the sales to back that up. They were $4,000 worth of sales this year. And my first instinct on this one was it's a great product. Again, like you said, I don't need it right now. But I understand the application and the need for it. And the thing I like about it is a lot of times you have people who come in with an idea where they want to completely change the way that the game works. And that sometimes doesn't really work with the consumers. And for this product, it was taking something that already existed, which is a baby wipe, and giving it an improvement and making that the new product. You know what I mean? And so that, I think, works more often than not versus just kind of trying to reinvent an industry. And this seems to work. I mean, the video, obviously, she could have tailored it to her
Here's the thing.
But
what I didn't like about the presentation was the fact that it was just one child. It wasn't like a montage, you know what I mean? Because any little paid actor kid, like you shoot him for 12 hours, you're gonna get something decent with him in one way, shape, or form. And so that's the part that I don't like. But you know, again, it's a great enough product, I guess. I mean, you're gonna have to do some market testing to see how good it's actually gonna be. So we'll see. I don't know. Would I have invested in it? Maybe.
Yeah.
But it would take certainly 25%. They did not have a full strategy in place. They just had a decent product.
Yeah, and that's what Barbara ended up making the deal for, which was $150,000 for 25%. And I don't know. The part of the presentation that kind of caught me off guard is, and I completely understand where they were coming from. However, it's kind of risky, was when they said what they were going to use the money for, because they said they were seeking $150,000, and essentially 2/3 of that money was going to go towards paying their salaries, which I get. They said they've been going after it for 4 years. I understand completely where they're coming from. However, that only leaves $50,000 of the $150 to go towards a business that seems like it needs the cash right now to kind of make it go forward. You know what I mean?
Very, very selfish, absolutely. And I mean, you're having 2/3 of it go to you.
Right.
And that no one ever wants to hear that.
Yeah.
It should 100% be going, if it was salary for employees, okay, that makes more sense.
Right.
But I've never heard of it where you take an investment because, okay, I need it. No, that's a personal loan.
Yeah.
That's not how you invest in a business, and so it just doesn't work for me. It didn't work for a lot of people.
And like Barbara said, businesses early on, especially, that's when you need to feed it. That's when you need to bring the money back into it. Honestly, like I said, I love the product. I definitely think there's a need for it. There is definitely an application and a market for it. I don't know how you make it stand apart on the shelf. That's another thing I kind of worry about, because it's not going to be in the food section, yet it's flavorful. And it's going to be right next to wipes that are cheaper. So that's a concern. I was kind of surprised that they got a deal, though, given the sales and given the apprehensions that all the sharks had. But Lori and Barbara both went at it. And Barbara got the deal.
They did. And, I think they're much more aware of this space. And so that's why ultimately I think they did it. And, I think it's going to pay off for them.
I love the contingencies, by the way. The one contingency which made sense from Laura was, hey, get the patent, you got a deal. Barbara was, make sure there's a cherry flavor. What was that about? Like, why the importance on the cherry flavor, you think?
Barbara must know how important. I mean, cherry just in general, I feel like, is the flavor of everything. And remember, because it's Barbara who has the little elephant nurse thing. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
Right? And so I feel like she knows the space really well.
Yeah.
And cherry must be that important. So,
I guess. Why not? I would think, like, for a little kid to do, I don't know, like, bubble gum or something. But then again, maybe babies don't chew gum, so that's completely invalid. You know what freaked me out, though? If I was pitching this, and Lori said, hey, I'll give you a deal. It's contingent on the patent. And then she goes, well, actually, I know you're worried about that. I'll trust you instead of making that a contingency. That would make me freak out. Because as a early on company, I don't know that I'd be able to come through with the patent. And I'd be like, I think it's worse to not come through with the patent, even though there's a contingency, than for her to say, I trust you, you're going to get it, and for that to not happen. That'd be really bad.
Could you almost like human error with like a computer or whatever, user error. Could it be where they could have incorrectly filed the patent even though they would have gotten it and whatever else? And I mean, part of it is, in terms of the contingency, there's never a set date for when they have to get the patent. So if they mess up the first time, and by the way, patents apparently take a long time.
Yeah.
So if you miss it, of course, I'm sure you can reapply, but the amount of time that takes, because now you're reapplying for one, must be a pain in the patoot.
Oh yeah.
So again, in my life, unless I have something 100% already, it's very tough for me to guarantee.
Oh yeah, I'm the exact same way. But I think that's about it. Barbara got the deal, 25% at $150K. Contingent on the cherry flavor, which I'm sure that they were all about. And that was the one thing I was kind of confused by, that they never really mentioned, was what's the flavor that they have? Because I kept saying sweet, so I don't know, is it just generically like sugar flavor?
It's sweet. That's it.
Sweet flavor.
Just like people in the East Coast think hot and spicy are the same thing.
Yeah, they're not the same thing. They're not.
Can you imagine a spicy baby wipe?
Oh my gosh! Clear up the sinuses, though. Good for the.
I think it'd be a worse effect though in terms of what you're going for.
But you could license to Tapatio and Tabasco and what's the other one that everybody likes? I don't remember. Hibachi, something like that. All right. Do you have anything else on Neat Cheeks there, Phil?
I'm glad they got a deal. Barbara's good for the space.
Absolutely.
Ultimately, I think she's proven her worth again with the elephant thing that always keeps getting brought up. But I somehow forgot the name of it.
Yeah.
And congrats. I really wish I could see them on Beyond the Tank.
Beyond the Tank. No, I agree with you. Like I said, I like the product. I like the ladies who are pitching it. I think it's a great thing. I'm surprised they got a deal, but I'm happy they got a deal. All right, moving on to Melanie connectors. Coming in the tank, $500,000 for 5%. Now, whenever somebody comes in at 5%, that is an immediate, oh my goodness, could be a red flag. This might be a Shark Tank gold digger. But in this case, I don't think that was true. This is the alternative to a wire connector that exists today. And I thought this pitch was kind of cool because you see Byron, who actually is up on the lines for the past 30 years, putting a connector on 2 wires, which, by the way, when they first started pitching the product, I thought that they were going to talk about like a household, wire that's the size of like this big, like an 1/8 of an inch or something. No, this is the real deal. This is like supplies your neighborhood with power. And it was an interesting thing because I never knew that connecting these things was this complicated.
Here's the thing. When it comes to that, I would want it to be a little bit complicated almost.
You think?
Well, because, again, it's supplying my entire neighborhood, so you would think that it would take at least that long. And so I'm glad, if it wasn't for the electrician, they would not have gotten a deal.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think their direction is just all over the board. There's no one who's going to use this that isn't in this line of work. Yeah. Which this line of work is, I can't imagine one house in America not with electricity unless you're Mormon. But is
that accurate? I don't
know.
I think the word you're searching for there was not Mormon.
What do you think I was searching for?
I think the people who only use horses and don't believe in electricity.
They're not Mormon?
No.
All right, well, oh my God, I'm going to take so much beef for this.
Oh, it's a brain fart, though. I don't remember
what... You get what I'm saying? But Amish. We're looking for Amish. Mormon was the answer we were looking for.
Bing!
Bing is not a sponsor. However, yeah, I think ultimately that's who you apply it to. I mean, there's so many houses being built, rebuilt, renovated that, you're going to make a lot of money every single year, and you just got to apply it to the people that are going to buy the most of it.
Yeah. It's true. And that's, I think, was their biggest mistake because I saw this as an industrial product and they kept kind of pitching it around the tank there as a couple different things. I thought it was interesting that they said it takes $15 to make this thing. They sell it at $39, but they never pointed out how much the alternative that they're replacing costs. Like that original metal piece that takes 10 minutes to install. Because I feel like that would have been an important factor because the thing is, it goes back to what I was saying earlier, which is sometimes it's easier to take a product and do a modification on it instead of rebuilding an industry. And in this product, you would have to reteach people and then essentially replace something. Now, if they could think of a cheaper way to do that, people will be on top of that. But if this thing costs twice as much as the connectors do already, I don't see this as something that they're going to want to replace across the board industrially. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. What was it? A couple episodes ago, remember they tried to reinvent the pizza box, and they're like,
exactly,
blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, I have to re-educate the market on a stupid pizza box.
Right.
No way.
And the thing is, it's like, yes, it's a great product. It's awesome. Just seeing Byron, the name of the electrician in this pitch, seeing him install this thing, it's like, oh yeah, that's way better. And he said he, had several shoulder surgeries and things like that. But again, it comes down to, is it cheaper or at least equally as expensive? And how complicated it is to acquire customers and teaching them and all that. And I thought it was a mistake to bring up Home Depot and Lowe's because I don't see what do you call it?
Cameron's certainly not buying this for his house.
I'm not buying it for my house, is what I'm trying to say. But I wish that this became a standard thing industrially because it's like, obviously, it saves on time. It looks cooler, Phil. It looks awesome. Anyways, they got a deal. I loved this deal with Mark. He started talking about AudioNet, which it was one of his first companies, if not his first company. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I mean, the premise is that he doesn't understand what the heck this is. He doesn't need to understand. He knows it's so out there and so different that it's either going to work or it's not. But if it is working, he wants to buy in at that certain percentage and get more of the company, and I think that,
a FOMO deal.
A FOMO deal.
Fear of missing out, which I love. I love that phrase. I feel like that is the only type of investor I would be, which is really dangerous. I would be like, I don't get it, but I'm going to give you a lot of money. And I feel like
it depends on the people, right? And that's why, like Kevin O'Leary, he always called himself a very smart investor because he knows that sort of tactic. Sure. But it'd be like, Cameron, this is going to be really big, man. You sure you don't want in? I'm giving you a discounted price, man.
Oh, I would fold. I would fold so quickly. It's not even funny. I'd be like, oh, man, I have a chance of being on the cover of Electricians Magazine or whatever magazine Byron runs. Yes, I'm in. Interesting that this was Mark and Rob and Kevin. Oh, that's not right.
That wasn't this. No, wrong one.
Wrong. That was not the case. But I was happy that Mark did this again. Because like he said, it reminded him of when he had his company AudioNet and people did the same thing to him. And also, he got, I don't know, he might get rich off this thing if he has that option to buy out at $1 million, 15%. Smart deal for him. Smart deal for him. You know what I loved most of all about Melnie here, Phil?
What was that?
I wanted to scream the word America whenever I watched it, because this is like a normal everyday guy who's helping out with this company, solving a problem that we didn't even know existed. I love it.
You know what needs to happen, though?
What?
We need to fire the other two. Hi, I'm
the
CFO.
Byron
needs
to be the face.
You're done.
Byron needs to be the face. I love that guy. Anything else on Melnie connectors, Phil?
You know what? It's a great little product. I love it. And am I going to see its application? No, but it's out there. It's almost like, honestly, we have Akamai at the start of all our shows.
Yeah.
99% of listeners don't know what the hell Akamai is.
Yeah.
However, I've tried to recommend Akamai to so many businesses, and they're like, we already use Akamai. It's just one of those things that everyone uses.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what to do for you, Akamai. Everyone already uses you. So when you're number one and you're very niche, Akamai delivers literally like at least 2/3 of the world's internet. So
it's amazing. I love things like that. Next in the tank is probably, I know this is where Phil's gonna get loud, and I probably will join him. Beneath the Ink, seeking $350,000 for 10% in the tank. Phil, what are your initial thoughts on the application of
couple of things, right?
Binking.
I liked how Kevin was it? No, this is the wrong one. But this was, what need is there for this? First and foremost, there are things out there that exist like this. Wikipedia, for one, first and foremost. So, if I was them, get a little smarter and figure out how to tap into that through some back-end thing.
Right.
So you're pulling this information.
That's my thing.
You have two types of authors. The successful ones and the ones that are trying, right?
Authors and not really authors.
Well, look at it this way. I'm J.K. Rowling. They need me to spit out another Harry Potter book in 2 months. I don't have time to go back in and annotate my other books.
Right.
Okay? I need to continue to be successful with my Harry Potter series. Second, I'm a struggling author who works a full-time job elsewhere while writing. I don't have time to annotate my books.
There's no time.
And furthermore, to pay for it.
That is now no disrespect to the folks who run Beyond the Ink, but that is a big mistake. I mean, that's not, it's like,
because you're not guaranteeing any book sales. How does this guarantee any book sales whatsoever?
None. And also, here's the way that this business would work in my mind. You were saying the Wikipedia ties in all that stuff. It's building on that idea where through the magic of science, Phil, you create some kind of algorithm or some other computer word that will do this, that does this process automatically, that targets words and phrases in the book and makes them clickable. Targets the word, let's say, France, and you can click on France and it automatically does a Wikipedia search, pops up a little box that shows the content of the Wikipedia search it did automatically. That makes sense to me. But the fact that you have people, authors, not people at the company who are hired to do this, but the authors annotating their own book, that's a little bit ridiculous. And also, where is the content quality control? Because you could have some authors that maybe do one phrase per chapter, and you can have other authors that do 100 phrases per chapter, so you have no consistency either.
Here's going back to J.K. Rowling. She wrote an entire book to supplement the books. She got paid a lot of money to do that.
Right.
She does not need this.
No.
And you're right about the quality control. I 100% agree. I think that's a great point. And furthermore, I just hate this.
Also, just binking, the word binking, is a risky word. It's very close to boinking. And I'm sure that's going to come up somewhere in the discussion.
You want to bink later?
Did you boink today? What are you talking about? I'm talking about your books. Oh, sorry. Binking is what I meant. See how that could be dangerous, folks?
Very, very dangerous. People have died for that.
Also, there's only 8 books that have been done. You need to sample this more. I completely agree.
And that's the other thing. Like, okay, they're thinking about, you know, the Sharks are like, you have to get a major author on board with this.
Robert even said you have to get a J.K. Rowling to agree to do something.
And that's fine. But no offense to J.K. Rowling, go to a library. How many books are there? Right. I feel like you either have all the books or you have no books. And if you only have 8 books and J.K. Rowling, good for you. I'm done with you in 5 days. Congratulations.
No binking for you. I have a question, and you might be able to answer this. If not, please tweet me at the only camshaft, hashtag ABTV Shark Tank. Is the ebook industry one that's actually taking off the way people thought it would?
I think so, especially, you know, college books certainly I feel like are sort of in that space. I mean, you don't have to print, so you're saving a lot of money. And what's cool is if you're an author and you really want to go and, you know, forget boinking, right? I know someone who embedded videos in their thing. So this technology exists. This already exists.
That's where it happens.
You know, you can already do these things as an author if you want to utilize this.
Yeah.
And you don't need boinking, binking, whatever
you don't need
to do that.
No.
And furthermore, you're not going to pay them to do it. You can do it.
Yeah. I mean, the whole paying them, you having to pay to annotate your own book, I don't like that. And they should have, I feel like maybe an application for this that they didn't address. I thought it was interesting that it specifically target types of books. They were just like, oh, you know, when you're reading a book, like if they were talking about children's books, I could see an educational component to this. If they were talking about cookbooks for people who didn't know how to cook that well, who wanted to see what is sassafras, what is ginger root, and they click on a picture, that makes sense.
This completely hinges on the amount of people you bring in, and the fact that they are not the content creators of this sucks.
Yeah, that really does suck.
The platform already exists, right? I'm coming out with a cookbook. Actually, Maria's coming with a cookbook next year. I might actually pitch this, where, you know, for that, we will probably have to produce these videos where Maria makes some of the recipes in there to kind of supplement the book as well. But guess what? That's something that we're already going to do. And the platform already exists to do so. So why am I already got to pay to produce these stupid videos, to take pictures, to do this, and now I got to pay to put them in? No, that's already free. I don't understand.
I mean,
free people.
Again, no disrespect to Beneath the Ink, but are you out of your banking mind? No. I'm just so surprised how they truly believe like they're on the forefront of something incredibly innovative, which I don't agree. This is something that, first of all, I thought ebooks already did. Second of all, It comes down to the content, like you said. No deal in the tank for Beneath the Ink. No $350,000 for 10%. Phil, any other thoughts on Beneath the Ink?
Get out of here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Get out of here.
You've spent so much money. You spent so much time. Just move on.
It's okay to
honestly, I don't understand the vision. And I'm sorry. I just don't think the vision is there.
Yeah. Agreed. Before we go on to the next one, let me remind everybody to subscribe to that iTunes podcast. Just search for AFTERBUZZ TV Shark Tank. Rate us, subscribe. We will appear on your phone if you click subscribe every week here on AFTERBUZZ TV. Phil Svitek, myself, Steph Z, who's out, but she'll be back, Phil. She'll be back from the Coachellas. So she says, but we'll see her sometime. Moving on to Pittmoss. Pittmoss, $600,000 for 25%. The alternative to Pittmoss, which I knew nothing about all this. I knew nothing of this. The names are very similar, which I think was by design. Yes.
But I think I love this.
I love it. And I'll tell you why. I was listening to the radio the other day about the water problem in California. And people are calling saying, well, I'm watering my driveway right now. So people aren't taking it seriously. This is a guy who wants to create something that's more sustainable, that uses water more efficiently, and just recycles. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is an awesome product, and it costs less. How could you not love this? Pittmoss. He came in $600,000 for 25%. I mean, I love this idea. Exactly, Phil. Let it breathe.
All the leaves are brown.
I have a product to pitch to you.
And
You go ahead.
This little something I like to call Pittmoss.
I've been for a walk.
I'm gonna help save the planet.
You dreaming of a better California? Are you?
Well, have I got one for you?
I'd be safe and warm.
We live in a world where we're short of water. And we're looking to recycle everything you have in your home, including your old couch, your newspapers, heck, even your dog, to make something more sustainable for Californians of the future. That's right, Phil. I'm talking about a little thing called Pittmoss.
Tell me more.
I love it. Congrats to this guy. Thank you for that, Phil. Very, very much. But no, I think this is a really great idea. Again, there's no reason. This is another thing like we were talking about earlier. This will have to be taught. That was terrible English. This will have to be taught to people. This is an alternative. This is a replacement for something that exists now. However, it's more sustainable. It is cheaper. It's better for the environment. How could you argue with that? You can't, Phil.
You just can't.
You can't argue with it. And this is another one I'm watching going, America! Because this is just like, yes. And God love this guy who just turned 50 and says, hey, I need to go after this thing because I've thought about it for a long time. And Mont Handley, by the way. That's the gentleman's name pitching.
And he also said, there's, I think England's banning the other substance and other countries. And so, number one, this is an international product.
Yeah.
And, even if you can't necessarily start with the American market, you go after these markets to the countries that are banning these substances and boom, bring it to the America.
It's there. He went in $600,000 for 25% is what he was seeking. Kevin offered him $600,000 at 40%. He countered at 30. Kevin came up to 35, and then Mark and Robert hopped in on this deal as well, which never happens. We've had deals before where all sharks went in, but we've never had, to my knowledge, a deal where the three gentlemen, Mark, Rob, and Kevin went in together. Kevin often doesn't really go in with people too much. But I'm so happy this guy got a deal because I think this is going to be great. This is something he said. Just this fact alone, he said people that use this product who water every day now only have to water every other day. Like, that's a real, actual, tangible result. This is awesome, Phil. Pittmoss.
Love it.
Congratulations to Mont. I love this thing. Any other thoughts on Pittmoss there, Phil?
No, just a great product. Great guy.
We're going to have to teach to people. My English today. Terrible. Shall we do the update from this week?
Heck yeah.
Let's hit it. All right. So we had an update. Shark Tank update this week was from Sunstatches, which was earlier this season.
They got a deal with Marvel.
Damon helped them get a licensing deal, and check out this fact right here. 5 months after the tank. 5 months after the tank, Phil. $4.1 million. Holy crap. That is some quick cash. Sunstashes, I mean, they killed it with the licensing. We see the meeting with Marvel in the Shark Tank update there, and see the Spider-Man glasses, the Iron Man, the Captain America, all great stuff. Makes complete sense. They can sell them at the Disney parks. Man, they're gonna be very wealthy.
Darn right.
I think we should license some Pittmoss with like a Incredible Hulk on the face of the package.
What
do you think? Incredible Pittmoss Hulk.
You know what I'm excited for?
What are you excited for, Phil?
Beyond the Tank. This is
Are
going to be great. We've got Shark Tank is moving to a new time.
That's right.
8 p.m. This coming week. And then May 1st at 8 p.m. we get Shark Tank. And then we get Beyond the Tank for 3 episodes.
Now, Phil, are we going to be covering that here at AfterBuzz TV?
I feel like we'll part and parcel it.
Yeah.
You know, we'll figure out a way to do it.
I'm happy. I want to do it. I'm so excited for this. This is something everybody's been waiting for 6 seasons now, and we finally get to see the process.
And I like, I think there's a shot of Kevin saying, like, you guys lost $1 million? Are you guys nuts?
Yeah. That's what I want to see. I want to see the rawness of it, because we see the polished pitching on the tank, and that's good, and that's well, but Beyond the Tank, man, I'm stoked.
And Robert says, this isn't games anymore.
This isn't games. I'm jealous, by the way. A friend of mine just texted me a picture right before the show of Robert's car from Dancing with the Stars, because he's on that tonight. Robert.
They're not on tonight, but they're just rehearsing.
They're on tomorrow, Monday. That's what I meant. My days are confused. I think that's about it, though. Phil, any other thoughts on this episode 25?
Nope.
Well, we should go out there and plant some Pittmoss, get some ink beneath it, connect it with a Melanie connector, and then afterwards, clean up our cheeks. Thank you for watching. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TheOnlyCamShaft. I'm Cameron Lewis. That is Phil Svitek. Phil, where can the people find you?
Just follow AfterBuzz TV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Love it. We'll see you next week, y'all.
And Cam's at the Periscoping, so get involved with that.
Oh, that's right. Periscope. Hit me up.
Is it the Camshaft?
At the Only Camshaft. Same thing.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you
that's
go.
right.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.